Hey, welcome to the Immaterial Gamers podcast. What is this, episode 11? I can't
It
remember.
is. It's episode 11. None of
Oh.
us were here for episode 10. We missed out.
All right, it's the leftover squad, boys.
Also, I didn't bring the party poppers.
So this
Brings
is
episode
being
20.
this is being recorded on the 14th of October, to do it the British way, 2018, because a lot of times the year does not get recorded. And today with us we have a smaller than usual podcast. Today it's just three folks, three regulars.
It's the best three that they've ever had, and they know it.
Well, are we the leftovers or are we the best three? I don't think we can be both.
No, we're the best.
Alright,
We're the best at the bottom of the box.
we're the best around. Nothing ever is going to keep us down.
Yeah.
Mr. Miyagi. Hey, so let's do some introductions, shall we? I am your host for this week, since Ryan is out again. I'm Geoff Vader, but I prefer Duncan, personally.
Geoff!
That annoying Pokemon-sounding fellow over there, in case you can't recognize his voice, is a good friend of mine and a regular on this podcast. It's Masamudi113, also known as Stefan.
Oh, thank you very much. And I have to say, yes, my voice is annoying. I've listened to our podcasts.
Yeah, everyone hates the sound of their own voice. That's not just a you
same.
thing.
Oh no, to me, my voice is very low. It's very squeaky.
I find my voice far lower and more nasally than I expect it to be.
I find mine sounds more like a child's voice. I'd like to point out I am almost 29 and I sound like a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Child at heart, Stefan Hall. And last but not least, we have the General. It's Steven.
Hi everyone. Yeah, pretty regular on here, aren't I?
Alright, so with that out of the way, I suppose we can dive into what games we've been playing. I guess we don't necessarily have to let's just start the podcast over.
Let's just start again.
let's,
Getting rid of everything. Edit it.
Let's talk about what games we've been playing recently. I guess we'll start with Stefan.
I've been playing Pixelmon.
Pixelmon, yes, you told me about this. Tell us all about Pixelmon.
It's Pokemon in the Minecraft world. Some Pokemon look really terrible, by the way.
I imagine, yeah. I imagine they do pretty bad.
Must be pretty hard to make the Pokemon look like. Must be really hard. Imagine that Pokemon looking like pixels.
Oh no, they're not that bad. Some of them are. I've got a Poliwhirl that looks like a fucking block. I'm not kidding. It is a block with legs. I have all my other Pokemon look really nice and decent. They're not smooth. They're not fucking blocket. And I'm already swearing.
Nobody cares. It's it's a UK podcast. You guys, swearing is like second language to you guys.
Should I take this from have you ever heard of Kinda Funny?
Yeah.
According to that,
kinda.
you're kind of funny. You are in many ways. When they were in the RTX, oh my god, all they did was swear at us.
All I can remember from seeing Kinda Funny at RTX Austin was Greg Miller ripping his shirt off and just screaming at the top of his lungs the entire time.
Did you have shirtless Spider-Man?
Shirtless Spider-Man? No, I don't recall a shirtless Spider-Man.
Yeah, we had shirtless Spider-Man, and we got called cunts a lot.
Neat.
Yep, because you can only get away with that word in England. I've never heard of it myself, but I might try it later on the bus.
No, see how far that gets you.
I think I'll be the first one in A&E.
So getting a little off track, how is your Pixelmon adventure going so far?
At the minute, terrible, because I have already been banned once on the server.
Yes. Good job. Did you call everybody a cunt?
No, I placed string by accident. I had like 3 pieces of string on me and I placed it in spawn. So I got banned for griefing.
Ooh.
And then when I said it, I didn't actually mean to do it. I'm sorry. Not good enough reason, but next time I do anything wrong, you'll be permanent ban with no appeal.
Wow.
Yes, they are really strict on this server.
Sounds awesome.
Hey, I've been bullied.
Yeah,
I did
sounds
make
very
a
good.
cloning device though that I can't remove. It's kind of stuck where it is at the minute.
Ah.
So Stefan's a griefer then.
I'm not a griefer.
Yes, you
You put down 3 pieces of string. That's griefing, isn't it?
In their eyes, in my eyes, it's art.
So have you been griefing in any other games?
What else? I've been playing Dungeon Defenders 2 again. I've just ascended for the first time, and now I'm struggling all over again.
Alright, does anyone else know what that means?
No.
Okay, in
Can't say
Dungeon
that I've played
Defenders
it.
2, you've heard of it, right?
I've heard of
No.
two.
Okay, good for you. Okay, I'll dumb it down. It's a tower defense game, and in it, when you get to level 200 and reach a floor, because there's like flooring in it now, of I think it's 30 now. Yeah, they've lowered it down to 30. You can ascend, which puts you back technically at level 1. Well, back at Chaos 1, and you then have to work your way back up, but you get a special bonus that affects everyone in your game. So anyone who joins me on a certain map will all get a bonus where all their towers do extra damage.
Sounds neat.
Pretty cool, that.
So I'm sat there on my own on that at the minute because Terry don't want to play with me anymore.
Terry's too busy for us.
Yeah, fixing his car. I've seen the photo.
Oh boy. Things just never seem to be going well for that guy.
I blame you.
Oh, by me? Why?
Why not?
Good point.
Hmm.
Alright, so I guess we can move on from there. Unless you had something else you wanted to bring up.
No, I don't think I've been playing anything else apart from Rainbow Six and just getting frustrated at people.
Yeah, I feel like we've had enough Rainbow Six for a lifetime in this podcast.
I have not played it for a while, to be fair.
Because you don't play PC.
Yeah.
Play PC.
PC Master Race.
Yeah, I know.
We're Master Race.
I still need to get it on PC.
Unless I'm lagging, and then I'm just I'm garbage.
Yeah.
So you may not have been playing Rainbow Six, but what have you been playing, Steven? See that segue? That was slick.
That's a good segue. About the only thing about the only 2 things I've played in the past week is Destiny 2. Played it on the Xbox about Tuesday, I think it was.
Again, needs to play on PC.
Yes, I know. I need to play it on PC. I know.
Or Microsoft might as well just let us do cross-platform. They're good at it.
Yeah, I know. It'll make it so much easier. Yeah, I've been playing that and trying to get myself to the right level so I can do all the new stuff. Because I, unfortunately, bought the DLC, even though I was kind of stern against it because of the way Bungie's practices.
You lasted longer than me and Ryan.
Yeah.
That's all
Yes.
that counts.
I know. But yeah,
I
I
pre-ordered it the day before it came out. It's like, nope, I'm getting it. Look at it.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was playing earlier in the week, and then of course my staple on PC is Evo, as always. Which reminds me, I am starting to do a little series for that. I'm hoping to publish the first episode later in the coming week, so that'll be on the YouTube channel.
Can we have any spoilers for this first episode?
Pardon?
Any spoilers for the first
It
episode?
sounded like he just lagged. It's just like sis.
We
Any
want spoilers. Yeah, come on.
Well,
A word, a phrase, anything.
what I'm thinking is, well, probably an Indonesian campaign. Playing as Brunei, I'm pretty good playing as them, so that's what I'm thinking.
Steve, do you have Civ?
Yes, Civ 5, I've got it.
Oh, we should all play Civ at one point and record it and see how boring we all are. As none of us go, we want to go on complete record of I'm going to take over the world. Well, we all sit there trying to be nice to each other.
Let's take an excruciatingly slow and objectively boring game to watch, and take 3 people and pit them against each other and see what happens. I don't know. Maybe I can get Jacob involved and we can have a 4-player game. He likes Civ. Of
Eh,
course,
well-
knowing him, he'll never come back for the second session.
and then what you don't know is you Canadians may have thought, oh, we'll play separately. I'm teaming up with Steve. We'll take out the one Canadian that turns up, and then the other one will never turn up again.
Oh boy.
We'll see how it goes. Definitely
Yeah, maybe.
be worth doing.
It'd be fun to get like some actual like gameplay footage on our channel, you know?
Yeah.
It's been worked on.
That's what I'm working towards at the moment. Like I say, I'm hoping to get first episode done this week. I'm going to start doing some recording after this podcast tonight, and I'll see how well it goes. I've already got some software for it called OBS. I think I mentioned it in the last podcast, which is pretty interesting, pretty useful. And I've got a load of space on my PC now because I installed a 3TB hard drive.
Ooh,
Oh, was that the hard drive you put on 2 weeks ago? I believe.
Yeah, it was last week.
Was it last week?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Or
No, it was the
2
week
weeks
before,
ago?
because I was in the
Could have been.
podcast.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't lie to me.
But no.
We
Point
know when
is-
you're lying. We have it recorded, you know. We have this evidence.
Check the footage.
Yeah,
Ryan,
just have to check.
remind
Right.
us.
I think you're right, yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. Otherwise, think it's me covered in terms of games and everything I plan to do.
Well, that's
Oh.
all very exciting. I'm excited to hear about. I'm excited to see some new content coming out of our
Yeah.
budding production troupe. I can't really call us a company at this point because we have no source of income.
No, not at
We
the
barely
moment.
have an audience, for that matter.
We have an audience.
But we
That's
do
what-
have content.
Yes.
Not much, but some.
Yes.
We have potatoes.
So I guess it's on to me
It's
then.
your turn,
Yeah.
Jeff. Come on,
Yeah,
Jeff.
your
Give
turn.
us something, Jeff. What have you been playing, Jeff?
Well, I've been playing the Ignore Stefan game.
Oh, I'm really
I've
good
actually
at
gotten
that
really
game.
good at that. I'm about
I'm
to
good at that.
prestige actually.
I'm almost platinum. It's pretty
Yeah,
easy
I'm,
to ignore
I've actually
yourself.
got a positive KD in that game. That's one of the few games where I'm actually performing quite well.
About time you did
But
something.
unfortunately, it's not a very exciting game to talk about because it's entirely verbal and audio based.
Yeah.
But other games I've been playing this week include insert Jeopardy music here. What have I played?
Wait,
What
what
the hell
was
was
I?
that?
I don't know. I feel like I was going into some sort of Star
was like
Fox
a-
slash
that was like-
Mario type shit.
Yeah, I was thinking like Mario, like you just hit the flag and you're like
Yeah, why not? I'll do that.
and banned for copyright.
Yeah.
But what have I been playing? I've been playing. I know I just said that we've had enough Rainbow Six talk for a lifetime, but I did play Rainbow Six. But the reason why it's interesting this time
You
is
playing ranked?
because no, I wasn't playing ranked. What I did do is I finally got a Bluetooth signal
Pad.
thingy
You got a pad.
for my gamepad for my
just-
controller.
I was about to say, there we go. Your controller. You're playing it with a controller. You're
So
becoming Dana.
I'm now playing on the controller. I've attempted to play on the controller just to see what the difference is.
Does aim
I-
assist help much?
Oh my god, it's fucking awesome. You know how like sometimes you're playing on PC and like you see a replay of someone who shot you, and they're just kind of like their cursor is like pointing vaguely in the direction of you, and all of a sudden they just snap to your forehead and immediately put one bullet through your eyeballs.
Yep.
That's the power of aim assist and playing on a controller. It's pretty great.
That's just called cheating.
Yes. Well, it
Which
depends.
is why I might be trying to teach myself how to play with the controller from now on.
So
I
in
managed
other
to
words,
get my
you're a
way. In other words, I tried to. Whose dog is that?
I'm sorry, that's my dog.
It's one of your dogs. I don't own a
Yeah,
dog.
the husky's
Hey.
getting a bit active. I don't know why.
Ain't mine. My dogs are quiet.
Yeah. I've heard your dogs before.
They're quiet until somebody walks into the front door.
Why is someone walking into the front door?
Walks into the front door. Bonk. Boo!
At least they're letting you know that were they blind? Is they trying to let them know the door's there?
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, no, I think I'm gonna start teaching myself how to play Rainbow Six on the controller. I managed to work my way through a couple terrorist hunts on normal difficulty, lone wolf. So yeah, it's working out. I think it might be the way to go from now on. In other controller-related gaming news, I teased it a little bit in the pre-podcast discussion, but I didn't want to burn it all, so still had something to talk about. I attempted to play Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention for this, so I might as well pay attention this time.
Yeah, I was trying to play Final Fantasy 15. I bought it probably all over a month ago now, because it was on like a Steam summer sale. It was like 50% off or something, which is a big deal because over here in Canada, video games are ridiculous. They're like a new game, a new AAA game like Final Fantasy 15 without any sales or discounts. It's like 80 or 90 Canadian dollars. So it's like, oh my god, how do I even play video games?
Yeah.
Over there, they're about 60 odd quid.
Oh god, I literally could not play in the UK. I would not be able to participate in this podcast. It's like, video games are too expensive. I'm going to become a streamer. I'm going to become a YouTuber.
But then, you just buy things like on Steam, and a lot of games have a lot of other stuff that come out for. Oh, you just sit there playing free games on Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm kind of stuck.
But, yeah. So Final Fantasy 15, bought it while it was on sale in the summer. But it decided it didn't really feel appropriate to play a Final Fantasy game on a keyboard and mouse for some reason. I just didn't like the idea of that. So I decided I wanted to get it on a controller.
Yeah, it's like, I've got games where I would never play it on a PC.
Yeah,
I would never play any of the Dynasty Warriors on PC, or Samurai Warriors, or any of the Warrior games on PC.
I prefer them on console, actually.
Yeah, it will just feel wrong to me. It's on a console. Yeah, that's right. It's on a PC. I feel dirty.
Yeah. Now the good news is that I finally got it and I played it a little bit. The bad news is I encountered some technical problems that prevented me from actually having anything noteworthy.
What happened? What did you do? What did you put in it?
Well, so I load up the game and I'm like, okay, this is the first like new Final Fantasy game that I've played since I think Final Fantasy X-2. So I've been out of the game for like over a decade now.
Trust me,
so
you're not
I'm
missing
like,
much.
so I'm like, I'll play the tutorial just to see how different it is now. How do they make their games now? So I load up the tutorial, and I get a little notification that says, "Learn to defend yourself." And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna defend myself. What button do I push? So I push some buttons. Nothing happens. There's a little prompt that says, press RB to lock onto the enemy. I was like, okay, RB, lock on enemy. I'm locked on. Now what do I do? No further prompts are given. So I push some buttons. Nothing happens. I push all the buttons. I push every button on my controller. Nothing happens. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's broken? Question mark. So after doing that for about 2 minutes, I give up. I'm like, alright, I guess I'm just playing it blind then, because the tutorial is not functional.
That don't sound promising for the rest of the game, you know.
No.
Yeah, no, it's not great. I was like, oh boy, is my controller broken? Is the game glitchy? Some kind of system requirements that are falling apart? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why this game doesn't work.
Like I said, what did you do to it?
So I load up the main campaign. There's cutscenes giving me an explanation of the story. And we get this weird mixture of like fantasy and like modern day type elements. Like there's a king whose prince is about to be married to some princess in another country to secure a political alliance for something.
That
I guess there's
like
a war,
every game
possibly.
that has a princess in it.
But it's like everyone's dressed in like Hot Topic clothing, and not like traditional Final Fantasy Hot Topic clothing. I mean, like actually, these people went to Hot Topic and bought these clothes.
That's just being.
And they're driving there in like a I don't know.
Don't you have
what?
You've got a convertible, haven't you?
Yeah, there's some like
Yeah.
convertible Buick sports car thing. It's just like okay. So we're like total like modern day type setting. So there's this very heart wrenching cutscene between snobby young prince and elderly grandpa king guy who's like, "Be safe, my son. Do not let the darkness get to you. You are my only son. I love you. Oh, and be polite to your princess. I know this is an arranged marriage and you've never even met her, but be nice to her. It's very
Should have just
important."
killed her. Should just kill her. Kill her there and then.
Smash cut to us being to our brand new car that has probably been driven about 8 miles in its total existence, having broken down in the middle of the desert, and we're all just pushing the car along.
I have to admit, in that game, there's a lot of desert, isn't there?
Yeah, the game kind of starts in the desert.
No, I'm sure like most of it's desert.
There's probably a lot of desert. I don't know. I haven't gotten very far in the game. That's part of the story.
I'm trying to remember what I've seen Ryan play, because I've been at Ryan's when he's played it. And
So
all
the
I remember is desert, and a garage, and desert,
Yeah.
and a garage, and then a city because he was like near the end.
Yeah. So the first bit of gameplay you're given is you're forced to push the car that is broken down, and you're the prince of a massive kingdom, and your fucking bodyguard is steering the car while you're pushing the car. I'm like, excuse me, this is not how this is supposed to work.
No, should be the
Do
other
you
way
know how
around, at
royalty works?
Don't you know, things are all backwards nowadays.
It's called hereditary privilege, yo. Get out of the fucking car. But whatever, I'm pushing a car while literally a cover of the song Stand By Me is playing in the background. I'm like, what is happening right now? What am I watching? Ugh, so that all goes through. We end up at Sid's garage with his hooker daughter hanging around, or granddaughter, or whatever. Pull in the gas station. This is about a half an hour after my PlayStation has started. And the millisecond I get to like control my character, I'm like, okay, I can stop at this point to do whatever. I can play the game or whatever. And then I thought to myself, you know, the main character kind of sounds familiar. I wonder if he's been in anything. Like is he a voice actor that I know? So I hit Alt Tab to like pull up a browser to like look him up. I get a notification sound like ba-loom, like something's happened.
Okay.
It's like, oh, there's like an error, except nothing pops up. I just have a black screen,
Okay.
completely blank. Nothing's happening. I try to Alt Tab again, nothing happens. I Control Alt Delete, nothing happens. I Alt F4, nothing happens. So I'm like, okay, cool. So Alt Tabbing just soft locked my game and my entire computer. So I turn off my computer, turn it back on again.
Okay.
And at this point, it's like, I don't really want to play this game anymore. It's just like the tutorial is broken. I'm really confused at the opening. And apparently Alt Tabbing breaks it. It's like, let's just go to bed. I'm really tired. So I haven't even played like 1 second of the game, and I'm already given up.
That's the way you should be playing things. Just don't play life like that. It's not good enough to play life like that.
So I guess I'll have to update everybody on what happens next time on Dragon Ball Z when I actually play the game, and hopefully my computer doesn't soft lock for using basic computer functions.
Why not? That's the way we like it.
So yeah, that's my story. It's all set up for next week. Next week I'll actually have an update of like, oh, I played this with my controller. But for now it's just a bunch of garbage.
Oh, I have got some news actually. From the last podcast, I have actually completed the whole of Dragon Age Origins.
Ooh,
All the
that's good.
side stories, everything, and I went through the mirror. I'm happy to say I went through the mirror, so I know what happened to the saver of for what's the place called again? I've been
Good
playing
question.
been playing it for weeks now. No, I'm gonna keep saying it wrong. I give up. All I know is I'm going to Kirkwall next. I need to start number 2.
Alright, well thank you for that update, sir.
My pleasure. Please don't call us. We won't call you.
So I suppose that's it for games, isn't it?
Yep.
I believe so, unless someone's hiding something.
Someone's always hiding something. We're all hiding at least something, right? I mean, that's just human nature. I'm hiding lots of things. You don't even want to know.
I don't care what your dog's doing underneath the table.
Underneath the what now? You cut out.
Underneath the table.
So video game news.
That's a very fast... Yeah, let's get off this topic.
So to start us off on a lighter note, oh god, I've closed all my news articles. Start us off on a lighter note. The very first one that I posted in our Discord chat was a pretty humorous little article coming to us from PC Gamer. The title of the article reads, "Elite Dangerous Fuel Rats Rescue Goes Horribly Wrong Because of a Cat."
Yeah, I have no idea what this is about, I'm not gonna lie.
I had a quick read of it. Essentially, it's about a team of players that go and fuel other players that are stranded, that are out in space.
In the game Elite Dangerous, which
Yes.
I understand is like some sort of like grand sci-fi MMO type game.
It is. It's quite a good game. I enjoy it. I
First time
currently
I've heard of
have
it.
a Python. In fact, Elite Dangerous is a modern. It's not a sequel as such, but there's a game back in the late 80s, I think it was, called Elite, which is what this one's based off. It's done by the same guy that did that game years ago, and it's just a much grander scale. But in terms of the story that we're talking about, this group of players tried to basically rescue someone by giving them fuel, but a real life incident involving a cat and a keyboard caused the rescuer, so to speak, to crash and destroy the person they were trying to save.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a bad issue for me, that sounds like karma.
Yes, that's
I
what I
bet-
understand from the article.
I bet that guy
That's,
that ship that was stranded did something really bad and naughty and really bad in his life, and then karma struck and the cat was like, yeah, I'm karma. I'm gonna take you out.
And I love how seriously these guys take it. Like, these guys, they call themselves the Fuel Rats. You know, like, they treat it like it's a legitimate business enterprise within the context of the game. And it's like to the point where they have a representative who went on records apologizing on Reddit for the incidents. He said, "Black box recordings indicate some sort of module malfunction aboard the rat ship." A further quote says, "It was not directly destroyed by the impact. However, I cannot confirm or deny whether there was further sabotage on the part of the cat at this time." So it's like I'm not sure if my cat was being malicious when doing this. We're currently investigating the incident.
It's a cat. All cats are malicious.
I would tend to agree.
Mm.
You don't have to
it's-
agree.
It's pretty
They just
comical.
are.
It is a pretty comical story. It's just the fact that a real life event affected a game in such a way, and then they're just taking it in the direction they are in terms of the investigation to understand like how did it happen. It's quite
To
cool.
understand what happened, we have got a cat whispering to find out what's going on. What you don't know is that owner has been neglecting his cat, and the cat has now just gone, you need to pay me attention.
Yeah, so that was pretty fun. Next article I'm gonna throw up into the discussion.
Oh, is this the PlayStation one, or is this going to be something else?
This will be PlayStation. Yes, this will be
Yes,
the PlayStation article.
I would like a question mark in a box, please.
So apparently, this article comes to us from Kotaku, by the way. So apparently, there's been a recent rash of incidents for the PlayStation 4 users where people have been receiving anonymous messages containing some sort of hacked code or some kind of viral program or something.
I've literally just told you what it contained. I've actually read this article.
Yeah.
It had a question mark in a box.
Right, but what I'm understanding is that what it indicates is that whatever it's supposed to be is not legible for their chat program. It just comes up as a question mark within a box.
A lot of people have put it more as, remember when iPhones had that issue where if you text them certain letters or a certain phrase, it used to shut down the iPhones?
I've never had that problem, but
this happened
sure.
quite a few years, about a year ago or maybe a bit longer. You sent them a phrase and it shut down their iPhone. This went on for about a month until Apple literally updated to fix it. They believe it's something similar to that. A lot of people in the thing that you've posted anyway believe a lot of it is just someone's found out the code that's making your PlayStation crash because of it.
Yeah, so to get this story straight without interruptions, just to clarify that the people who are listening to the podcast actually know what is going on. People are receiving messages of unknown origin or description. All the messages essentially is it's a square with a question mark in the middle of it, and it completely hardlocks their console, and they are unable to use their PlayStation after receiving this message.
Unless they delete the message.
Yeah, so far the only known ways of dealing with this are using the PlayStation 4 mobile app to delete the message outside of the console, or getting their console factory reset, which is obviously a more extreme solution. Probably was discovered before they could delete the message through their mobile app.
You can do it from the mobile app, or you can open it on your computer.
Whichever works. So yeah, that's a pretty weird problem to have. It's almost like everyone's getting like Bloody Married. It's like the most dangerous copy pasta of all time. It's like, send this message to a friend and destroy their PlayStation forever. Repeat this message 3 times in a mirror and you'll never use your PlayStation 4 again.
There is quite a concern.
Yeah, it kind of makes me wonder. I mean, you've been going on a little while, Steph, about security problems on the PlayStation 4 platform and how that must have been preventing them from doing crossplay. And it seems to me like this could be an indication that might be true.
You might turn around now and Sony go, yeah, we're not doing the crossplay now because we noticed that opened up a window for this to happen. You never know until it says it. That's what happens. And I swear to God, if someone from their company is listening to this and they use it now as an excuse, yes, that's why that happened and we don't want to do cross-platform anymore, go bugger themselves.
We could always go full tinfoil hat and suggest that this message is being sent by a Sony executive because they know how to destroy the computer and they're just using it as an excuse to not go cross-platform. It's like, well, we don't want to infect the other platforms with this evil, haunted message that destroys consoles.
What do you mean? Sony won't admit to that. What Sony would admit to was, we've got this because of the other consoles. We've got that off the consoles.
Oh, even better, yeah. Let's put the blame on them. It's just like,
it came from Nintendo, it came from Microsoft, it came from Xbox/Microsoft again. We're gonna burn!
It's like, perhaps Xbox, our main competitor, is trying to sabotage our system. Or Nintendo, being fledgling internet users, just has a weakness in their system and it's destroyed us. Or perhaps the PC master race, with their tech-savvy users, have found a way to crack our system. Either way, they're
gonna put blame everywhere else.
Who knows? It's pretty weird. I don't know what to say about that.
Because they've been doing cross-platform now for almost 3 weeks, I think, maybe 4.
Yeah, it's not been a very long time.
Yeah. And this is the first issue that PlayStation's had. Might not be directly to that yet. We do not know.
Do you know what this reminds me of, actually? It kind of reminds me of that the old Rooster Teeth animated adventure, where, like, if you think of a certain sequence of words or images, it, like, shuts down your brain and you die. You know, it's like Orange Monkey Eagle. I
don't think I know about that one.
I remember that episode.
It
kind of helps. I watch
it's a
it
classic.
quite often, but
it's like I would love to think that's all it is. That's all it takes to shut down a PlayStation 4. Just type Orange Monkey Eagle and send it to another user. It's just like, my system's broken.
I've got a question. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because my computer went to sleep and I can't be asked moving the mouse.
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Good. It means I can still carry on like this.
I'm
I'm the winner.
Well, anyway, I suppose we should move on from that one.
Yay! Just another excuse for Sony to not do cross-platform.
So we've got 3 more articles here, but I think we'll only cover one, just for the sake of keeping things brief.
Wow, how long are we up in a minute? Well, we're not even in an hour, so... one of them's not going to take long to announce. It is just literally Halloween events and shiny updates for Pokemon Go, with Gen 4 being release dates.
Do you want to take over the Pokemon thing then?
Well, I don't even play Pokemon Go. I just saw this article. And
does anyone
does
here play
anyone
Pokemon
in?
Go?
I don't think we
Not
do.
for a long time.
Alright, I'm going to skip that one then, because fuck it.
Well, if anyone's interested, hold on, I will find the release date just in case there's anyone interested. Okay, they even actually give us a release date from what I can see in this article.
Wow,
I'm sorry
cool
for.
story.
I'm
Thanks
sorry
for
for the people.
wasting that time. Maybe we should just cut that part out. Who knows?
Oh no, found it. It will be arriving the 19th of October.
19th of October. Holy shit, that's my sister's birthday.
So 5 days time.
Woo!
Woot. So yeah, I guess move on to next article. I guess we could talk about.
Oh come on, Steve. You know more about this. The transactions in Assassin's Creed.
One of the things that's been coming up in the past week and since the game's released is the addition of microtransactions, or the continued use of microtransactions in Assassin's Creed games, which is primarily a single player game. Personally, I've got an issue with it because we should be able to just experience the game as it is without being hampered in a way. Because as it looks, you need to get the booster to level up quicker so you can do all the content easier. But that shouldn't ever really be the case.
For a single player game, that should never be the case.
Exactly.
That stuff, micro actions, I think should only really exist for cosmetic things in multiplayer games, like Rainbow Six.
I agree. I agree.
Tom Clancy's Division. I'm trying to think of other games that you can pay for. Dungeon Defenders, you can pay for stuff like that. You name it, the game probably sells you something if it's multiplayer, cosmetically. League of Legends. Yeah, League of Legends does that. You buy skins.
Yeah, it's like, okay, League of Legends is a free-to-play game, and you can buy skins. The only way you can buy skins is through microtransactions. You can also use microtransactions to buy champions, but that doesn't necessarily give you an advantage. It's like, it doesn't make you better at playing the game.
No. You still have to get better at that character before you can do much else.
And a lot of the more expensive characters are really hard to play anyway.
It's no longer like that anymore, is it? I thought it was the newer they are, the more expensive it is.
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of new characters are really hard to play because, it's hard to come up with new ideas when you've got 1,000 characters already.
A lot of Minecraft servers have micro actions in.
That seems a bit odd. I would have thought just having the skins packs and that would be enough. Didn't think there would be any more transactions you need to have in that game. Again, it's another single player title that's being...
Well, in Minecraft, because it's an online server and you're playing with other people, you get the benefit of you can pay for ranks, so you can learn, you can fly, you have commands at your power. And yes, I know all this because I am one of them people who buy that transaction for I can fly in Skyblock.
Oh. That's disappointing.
You're part of the problem, not part of the solution.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be part of the solution. You can all go to hell.
Okay. No, just the reason I brought this article up is the fact that it's an ever-growing problem for most big games now. Nothing's been said about Red Dead Redemption 2 or any other similar games.
I swear to God, that better not have any in it.
But yeah, that's the problem.
It needs to be like number one, have nothing in it.
Yeah. It's like
I read a review of someone playing Spider-Man, and it was you could either buy the standard edition or you could pay extra to get, what was the edition above the standard edition for Spider-Man? The like Elite Edition or whatever it was, and you
The
get
Spider
extra,
Edition.
you get extra content in it. So, and the person in this review was like, so in other words, they've sold me Spider-Man as a general game with holes in it to be filled in with this if I wanted to pay extra for it.
Yeah.
It's part of an ever-growing problem with video games. It's just like, it's like making a game artificially feel longer by making it so that you have to either pay for something or play the game for many, many, many hours just to unlock it. You know, you're artificially extending the life of the game and making it seem like it's got more to it than it actually does, when in reality you're just putting up artificial barriers while trying to, you know, wring a few extra dollars out of your players.
Yeah, a lot of it's down to them just wanting to make more money out of a game with something they're not willing to put more content in for. Or if they are, they'll do it as an afterthought and make you pay extra. Such as with pretty much every game. Destiny is a good example of that. And like features that were part of, like, a lot of what we get in Destiny 2 now has only been added with Forsaken, but it's stuff that you used to get in
Number 1.
Destiny 1.
Yeah, and it's
So
like, what? They went backwards with Destiny.
Yeah, they did.
Everyone has said this. Destiny got better at the end of Destiny 1, and then for the beginning of Destiny 2, they went, yeah, let's take away all that good stuff and put it basic.
Yeah, and then reintroduce all of it over the course of the next year or two.
Yeah, it's the games are just, I don't know, man. It leads into a whole larger topic of just the fact that
it does, yeah.
the video game industry is really like, I've talked about this before, how it's kind of like it's playing a very dangerous game of Jenga, where, you know, it steals from itself to try and extend itself as far as possible.
I thought it was playing Monopoly and it was just paying itself to do stuff.
Now, well, the problem, right, is that, you know, it's not like, you know, the reason video game companies do this is because it just costs so much money to make games and to run games now. Well, with everything being online, you know, you gotta have to constantly pay for servers to be up. You have to pay people to maintain games, you know, update them on a regular basis. Games cost millions and millions. They cost as much as movies now to make initially. And unlike movies, which are one and done, you've made the game, you've advertised it, and you've sold it, and it's gone. Yeah. You know, a video game continues to cost millions even after it's been released most of the time. So it's like
depends on the game.
They really, I mean, yes, I mean smaller titles and non-online games don't have this problem. I'm talking about the mainstream AAA gaming industry has this problem where, because of the ever-growing, you know, demands and expectations of the consumers, they have to keep raising the bar to, you know, heights that they can't realistically reach without doing these things that are, one, completely unsustainable, and two, undesirable by people who have an interest in seeing games, you know, continue as an art form rather than just, you know, disposable entertainment. It's not great. I know a guy, a YouTuber named Ross Scott. He's an old time YouTuber. He created a show called Freeman's Mind. That's a machinima series from way back in the day.
Yeah.
And he's been covering the topic of dead games and the state of modern gaming industry. A dead game is essentially a game that it's no longer playable. No, it's not that. Like what he's referring to is a game that is not playable. Like, it was playable, and then because it was an online game, you know, or depended on a central server, it got shut down and is no longer accessible to the general public.
I don't think Dungeon Defenders 1 is available anymore.
Yeah, probably not.
I think they shut that server down and went, not when number 2 came out, but when number 2 basically got all of its fun crowd from it.
Yeah, so he's been covering this topic. It's a related issue that he's been covering for a number of years now, talking about how, like, he argues that in some countries and under certain jurisdictions, the practice of making a game online, selling the product, and then intentionally making the product unusable at a later time without offering the player any recourse, any way of recovering their money or continuing to play the game, whichever is easier for them, that arguably that is like criminal behavior. And he's been trying to fight for this as both a legal and cultural action for a little while. It's a pretty small movement, but it's interesting. I'm very interested to see where the game industry ends up in a few years.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by it as well. It's a good standing point with that. It's one of them though. The reason why they shut them down is so they can use the servers for their current games, but it also reduces the ability to play older games, and we can't make anything out of it. It's a different topic.
Yeah, it's a whole separate bag of worms that I don't want to fully unpack, but it's all part of a larger picture that is slowly being pieced together, and I really feel like something needs to be done about it. Otherwise, games are going to look very different in a decade or two.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose, it's a bit of a flat, sour note to leave on, but I suppose that's about where we should probably leave it off.
Yes, we should leave it off. Every game is dying.
Yes, the game industry is doomed. Our careers are limited, and we're all going to die.
I wouldn't say that. We've got one more article I think we can mention. Microsoft buying out Obsidian, which is interesting.
I do not know who or what Obsidian is.
Obsidian Entertainment. They are responsible for Fallout New Vegas and a few other games. It's good in a way because it allows them more opportunity to do something, but it's bad because Microsoft just don't give freedom to the studios in most cases. So we'll wait to see how it works out, but I'm interested in how it's going to go going forward.
Yeah, I suppose we'll have to see how that one goes. Bleh.
I've just realised I kind of died off at the end of this.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, hell yeah! I kind of got preoccupied with my own, in my own thoughts.
Yeah, I noticed. Right.
Thinking's hard. It's hard to do that. It's hard to think while doing other things at the same time.
Yeah. So, do we have anything else we want to bring up?
That's what you think.
No, I think that's about it. I think that's a good, I'd say good stopping point. It's a stopping point.
Yeah.
It is a point at which we may stop this podcast.
Yeah.
So I suppose next time I should be online next time, and I'll hopefully have some updates on my controller gaming adventures, and also
life.
with my copy of my Nintendo Switch copy of The World Ends With You on its way. I'll have some updates on that as well, because I'll definitely be playing that this week. We got a Switch a long time ago. I don't personally own a Switch. It's kind of my sister's. But I'll definitely be borrowing that to play that some, because I've been very excited about that for a long time now, and so is she.
Good.
So yeah, I suppose.
I have a question.
What's that then?
When did Sony announce that they're doing the 5th gen console? Was it 2 weeks ago, or was it this week?
This week.
I have no idea.
So we missed that whole story. Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah. We didn't mention it. Yeah.
That's probably the biggest thing about this week, actually.
I don't even have a link to anything about that.
Just give me a sec. I will pull it up.
Do we want to throw this into this podcast after we've already attempted to end it twice, or do we want to wait until next week?
We're just going to never end this podcast. This podcast is going to go on forever and ever and ever.
Purgatory.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Video game purgatory. Oh god, is this what happens when people send us that message? This is our brains turn off and we get stuck talking about video game news forever.
Wait, I'm really confused now. Because the article I found says it's got a release date and everything. which I don't believe it has, seeing that they've only just announced that they're making it.
There's no release date as far as I know. I know they announced it, and that it is being made, but there's no release plan. That's about all I know. Saw it on Twitter yesterday.
So TLDR, Sony is making a PlayStation 5. Earth-shattering news.
Yeah. That's if they call it PlayStation 5.
Oh my god, that's... my mind is blown.
Might call it PlayStation 0.
I
Be a bit more Microsoft.
I would love it if they just called it PlayStation 6 for no reason. It's like introducing the PlayStation 6. It's like, what about 5? We don't talk about 5.
Yeah, 5 never
And that's
happened.
what Apple did.
Apple's done that a couple times.
Apple skilled. With their phones, Apple went from 1 to 8 to 10.
Yeah, they skipped 9.
But also, didn't they skip like 2? I mean, like they had like an
No.
iPhone, and then they had. They didn't have an iPhone 2, did they?
They did. I believe they did.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's go from 8 to 10.
Yeah.
It's like Microsoft. It's like Windows 7,
Yeah,
Windows 8, Windows 10.
10, yeah.
You what, mate?
Do you think that's just a Microsoft thing? Just no one wants Windows 9.
No.
No one wants
Microsoft
9.
both
So-
Microsoft and Apple thing.
If we go by this logic, Sony should get up to PlayStation 8 and then do PlayStation 10.
Yeah. To be honest though, I don't think they're actually going to make that many. The impression I get from recent articles is that the developers may be going towards the mobile gaming side of things. One thing I forgot to mention, Microsoft announced a beta for being able to play stuff on your phone. Can't remember where the article is now.
Yes, because that's what we all need. Video games to drain your battery faster than your phone's already dying anyway. I cannot use. I have my phone for a day. I must need to charge it about 3 times a day, and all I do is
phone.
I play music all the time, constantly playing music. But I need to charge it. I'll charge it throughout the night. I'll charge it while I'm at work because it's almost dead normally by dinner time, and I need it to get home because it's my tram pass. So yeah, I need a new phone. Yes, that's not a lie. My phone is about 4 years old now. But I'm waiting for my contract to be up before I can just go, I'm going to buy a phone straight out and then make me just pay for the SIM. Because it's so much cheaper. Don't get me wrong, in the short term, it's cheaper if to get a contract phone and everything else, but I'm not doing it. I think we should definitely end this now, by the way.
Yeah. I think it's about time. I think
Yeah, we're at a good point to end, I think.
Well,
on the note of Stefan getting a new phone, we'll cut this one off, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get the Razor.
No. We'll just call
Maybe you should get a razor.
I
I
swear,
mean, I know what that means.
I want to cut your beard off.
Oh,
Oh wait, you're not Ryan. I get presenters mixed up here.
I got a little fuzz. I got a little
Little
fuzz on the
fuzz.
face.
You like the hippie fuzz at the bottom of your chin.
Not the hairs on my chinny chin. All right, seriously though, let's hit
Farewell
that
and
big
good night.
black button and stop this recording.